My name's Elaine. I'm from Florida. I'm going to be 77 years old, and I'm speaking to you from Dr. Christian Issels' medical clinic for cancer and other illnesses in Santa Barbara, California. I had leiomyosarcoma March 2012 by my gynecologist, oncologist, and I came to Issels Clinic for treatment. And this is my story. A healthy woman most of my life with a uterine fibroid, which I was keeping check on constantly, and nothing seemed to show. There was no bleeding, there was no symptoms of anything, until fortuitously I fell. And as a result of the fall, I had bleeding, and the bleeding had to be checked. And during a pre-op chest x-ray, before going in for surgery, they found some nodules in my lungs. When I heard that I had nodules in my lungs, I opted for a hysterectomy, a complete hysterectomy, which turned out to be fortunate because after the hysterectomy was completed, they found the cancer. So I had everything removed, and I went home in 5 days after the surgery. I was in very weakened condition. I weighed 79 pounds. I also had a craniotomy in 2011, which further weakened my condition. And by the time I had the second surgery, I was frail and 79 pounds. When I went for my post-examination, the doctor said that he wanted to do chemotherapy and radiation. And I asked him, I'm only 79 pounds, what are you going to do for my nutrition and what are you going to do for my immune system? And he said, well, if you get nauseous or you're vomiting, we'll give you medication. So that meant more medication. I didn't even need to go through the conversation because I knew in my mind that that would not be an option for me, that I wanted to work with my immune system and I wanted to get stronger. In the 1980s, I had listened to a public radio station, WBAI. It was with Gary Null, who spoke about a Dr. Joseph Issels in Germany, who was curing cancer. And hearing all that information during that time, during the 80s, I made a decision that if I would ever have cancer, I was going to go to Issels Clinic in Germany. Well, here I was. I had cancer, and I was out of the hospital, maybe a week, 10 days, and I called up a nutritionist and I said, this is what I have. What do you suggest? And this nutritionist said, Issels. I said, okay, I guess I'm going to Germany. And she says, no, you don't have to. Dr. Issels moved his clinic to California. And within microseconds, I was on the phone talking to Mrs. Issels, the widow of Dr. Joseph Issels, and finding out that her son had his clinic in California, in Santa Barbara. So at that time, I just decided that I was going to come here. I contacted my doctor, asked him to fax over all my information to Dr. Issels and see if he would take me on as a patient at his clinic. Fortunately, I was accepted, and I came to Dr. Christian Issels, son of Dr. Joseph Issels, March of 2012, and spent 2 weeks here. And it had to be one of the best 2 weeks of my life. Within 4 days, I had gained 3 pounds and was feeling wonderful from hyperbaric oxygen chamber, a sauna, special infrared sauna. And now before I finish that, I just want to say that the first thing I did was I was advised to go to Mexico to get vaccines. And I went alone to Tijuana, knowing in my heart I was doing the right thing. And arrived in Mexico at the hospital, Angeles Hospital, and I had the most superb treatment from the most kind, caring, compassionate staff. I received IVs of nutrition, and most important, they drew blood and made vaccines of my blood, gave those immune cells back to me, and the following day after the vaccines, I arrived in Santa Barbara and started my treatments. And as I said, I had hyperbaric oxygen, I had infrared saunas, all special kinds of IVs, high-potency vitamin C, amino acids, sodium bicarbonate, and let me think, hydrogen peroxide. And all I knew was every day I felt better and better. I wasn't even considering it that I was here as a patient because the atmosphere was so positive. Not just the atmosphere from the patients who were here, who were all very full of hope. I mean, that's what this place is about. This place is about hope, health, and healing, and administered by a kind, caring staff of extremely knowledgeable people. Dr. Kim, an MD, Dr. Issels, and a nursing staff. And they're at your beck and call whenever you need them. And I don't know where anyone could find getting treatment, getting your questions answered in such a positive environment and ending up with a hug. All extremely beneficial for healing. And I went home and I followed their protocol, which is all about keeping a good diet, low glycemic diet, low carbohydrates. And I found a doctor who was willing to give me IV treatments. And I followed through with the IV treatments here. And I got myself up to 87 pounds from 79. I have the good fortune of keeping in touch with Dr. Issels and Dr. Kim whenever I needed a consultation. There was a phone consultation, so I had that support of people with knowledge. And then I felt that I wanted to just make sure my immune system was in check, even though I was feeling well. And I want to make this wonderful trip to Israel, and I want to make sure that I'm 100%. So I decided to come back to Dr. Issels' clinic, and tomorrow is my last day. I came for 2 weeks to get a little boost of the same treatment plus other modalities that came through during the time I was away, because they're always looking for new and better ways to take care of their patients. So I said, okay, I'll come for 2 weeks. But now I'm finishing 3 weeks because I couldn't leave, because I feel absolutely marvelous. And I hope whoever sees this video will call the clinic and investigate it. Or if you want to find out my email address and you want to speak personally to me, you have my permission to call Dr. Issels' clinic, and I will give permission for the staff to give my phone number. I must encourage you to come. You don't need treatment that's going to make you sicker or possibly cause you to be sicker than you were before you got cancer. And not only cancer, there are other illnesses that Dr. Issels' clinic can help you with. So I hope whatever I said in this little video that it resonates with you and it will help you to be well, happy, and peaceful. And to Dr. Kim and Dr. Issels, I only have to say, you are so beautiful to me.